Hello, everybody. Let me see. Um, I'm just going to make sure that my sound is working. Um, Please let me know if you can hear me in chat. If you're here, I will try and see if my mic is working correctly. Otherwise, we can start. So, hi everybody. My name is Gift, and yeah, I'm doing this live stream series. Okay, that's great. So, I'm doing this live stream series where I'm like building out my website, and I did one on Friday last week, I think, where I designed part of the site live. So today I finished designing the site, so now I want to start coding it, and I thought I would also stream that part as well. So let me share my screen and show you what I have. Share screen. Okay. So in case you've not seen that other video, after this one, you can always go and watch it. But this is what I've designed so far. I'll just close myself here first. So this is what I've designed so far from before. This is essentially like a new version of my website, right, that I'm making. And this is what I've done so far. I would preview everything so you see. It's pretty simple in my opinion. It's like very I like the design. The design is very clean and simple, right? So I have the home page, the blog, which I'm calling Digital Garden. I have the About Me page. I have like, let me see, I have 5 pages here that I'm going to be building out. And for this project, I decided to use a framework called Noxt. And if you're not familiar with Noxt, Noxt is like, this is Noxt. Noxt is a Vue.js framework that you can use to build any front end application, right? And I like Noxt a lot, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be using it for this project. Now, because this is a personal portfolio slash a blog, I decided to also add a content management system to it, like headless content management. So, for example, if I have a blog, if I am writing on this website, I don't always want to have to go and write Markdown in VS Code, for example. I want to be able to go to like a customized CMS that I make for myself where I can just write there and publish it automatically without going to touch code after I finish building it. And for that, I'm using this CMS called Storyblock. I'll just show you their homepage. So I'm using this headless CMS called Storyblock. So the two technologies I'm using to build out this project is Noxt and Storyblock. And if I need to use any other thing, I'll let you know. But these are the only two things I'll be using. Let me know if the music is also distracting you. I'll turn it down a bit. Let me just do that. Okay. Is anybody familiar with Vue, Nox, any of these things that I've mentioned? Is anyone familiar with them? So I'm tracking like the projects here, like in this Notion page. And so far, what I have, right? And most of this thing I'm doing, I'm going to figure it out as I'm streaming this thing. So far, what I want to do in this stream is set up the new Nox project, also add Storyblock as an adapter on my project, and start building out the components for the homepage. If there is time, okay, you do React. This is not so far away from. It's all JavaScript at the end of the day, so maybe you be familiar with some of the things I'm doing. So again, I don't know if I'll be able to finish everything in this one stream, but at least I want to set the project up. That's the goal, and like I've written out like pseudocode for me to help me understand or the direction I'll be going with this. And then secondly, I also have some features that I've seen from like people's sites that I want to try and add to my own. Like for example, this custom QSO is, let me see if I can show you here. I'll just copy this thing. This custom QSO, I see it on a lot of people's websites and I really like it. So it's essentially you take out the arrow and you use CSS to customize it to something like this website, for example. This is the custom QSO. So I want to add something fancy for my website as well, right? I don't know what I will use, but you can achieve this with CSS. So I would also be adding that as a feature. I'll be adding search and a dashboard stats, essentially a page where I can like list out the number of subscribers that I have, number of followers I have on maybe Instagram, TikTok. I don't know, but it's a very familiar website that has implemented that. Is this website by? I'm not sure whose website I saw that feature. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm going to also add like a feature where there is a page that in real time generates like stats or pull stats from different platforms that I have and show it on that page. Yeah, I think this work is up for something else. I'll remove it. But yeah, so let's start with the code because yeah, that's all you people are here for, right? And for that, I'm going to be using the docs most of the time because, like I said, I don't think I've done any storybook related thing in a while. So, and there's been like a lot of improvements and things added. So I'll just be using the documentation to help me set up the project, right? Let me see if there's any questions. Okay. So first things first, I would open my terminal. Now, because this is a fresh new project, I usually just put all my code, like anything related to code that I have to open in VS Code. I have like a different directory called code where I add those things, right? So I'll make this, we actually already have like a project for it. Let me see if I can work with that. Because the domain that I'm using for this project is called thegiftcode.dev. And I made like a very simple link tree website to put as a placeholder until I finish building this site. So, and this is also a Knox 3 site. So I'm thinking, should I start off with this or should I start a new one? I should probably just start a new project. So I'll call this one. I'll put it inside something called like a portfolio. So doesn't. Okay. So to start off with Noxt, to create a new Noxt project, typically you always need to use like the Noxt CLI. So because I'm using Noxt 3, I don't think it has changed, but I'll just go to the docs and see how to start a new project. I think it should be the same thing. Okay, it's different. So in Noxt 2, you need to use the Noxt. Can't remember what it is, but this is different. So I'll just make sure that I have this. So I'll copy that and come here to create my new project. npx Noxt init the gift code def. Okay, yeah, it's asking me if it should install the following packages. Yes. I can close this too. That was fast. Oh, that was fast. Interesting. Okay. So I can open this in VS Code and we can work inside of VS Code instead. I don't like this new Mac update. So I updated my laptop to the new, I think it's called Ventura. And it has this thing where if you minimize your window, it goes to the side. It's very distracting. I don't like it. But anyway, so we have our project now in VS Code. This is using Knox 3. And I can, let me make this a bit bigger. So I can npm run dev. Oh, that's not what it is. Npm run dev. Interesting. Npm install first. Okay. I'm thinking that, yeah. Okay, while that is npm installing, right? Because this is me setting up the new Nox project, I'm going to go back to the docs. Let me close this first. Yeah, pretty much once I'm done there. Oh, this is also new. The open flag. Okay. So npm install is done. Now I can start running this new project. So that's npm run dev. Okay, it's using Nitro. Interesting. Yeah, I've not done any Nox 3 thing in a bit. So I only tried Nox 3 once. And since then, I've not really done so much with it. So this is literally going to be me trying to learn Nox 3 on this stream. So our app is now running. I'll just open it here. And this is a starter template. So if you try to install a new Nox app, this is what you always get, this landing page. So what we're going to do now is, secondly, we've set up the Nox 3 project. Now we want to tie it to Storyblock. So I'm going to be using the Storyblock documentation to help me set up the Nox Storyblock adapter. Yeah, so let's do that. I'll just leave this open here and go to Storyblock. So the first thing Storyblock says I should do is to create a space for your project, which I have already created. And for me, that is I'm using the name of the website, the gift code, right? So the next thing to do here is we just go to the getting started page, right? I like that they already like go through, like they have quick start steps for you to follow if you're going to be using Storyblock. So the next thing I need to do is install the Storyblock. What is this? Create demo at latest. I think I should use their docs instead. Let me just confirm if that's what I should be installing. So create a space. After creating the space, so why is mine a demo? Let me just confirm what I'm doing first. Oh, is it because I have a free account? That's why it says demo. You know what? To start everything all over again, can I delete this? Yeah, I can delete it. Let's delete it and start over. Cannot delete the record as an active subscription was found. Interesting. Okay. We'll just work with it. I'll install this local copy of my Storyblock, but I'm not sure why it is saying demo, because in the docs it just says, can you see? It just says create Storyblock app. So I don't know if I'm missing something, but I'll go back to my terminal, right? And let's open a new one. And then I'll run that in my project. So this is going to install this package called Storyblock creates demo at latest. Hi Temitope. I should also be checking my chat because the chat is on my monitor and I'm using this other laptop. So yeah, I'm trying to install Storyblock, and now he's asking me to select which framework. And like you already know, I'm using Nox 3. So I'm going to select this Nox.js version 3. And because I'm already using NPM, I'll just stick to NPM. But I prefer using Yarn for my project. But I'll stick to NPM. And then the space region that I selected is the EU. So I'll leave it there. And it's asking me where should it put the local folder for my project. Interesting. I think what this will do is it's going to actually create a Nox 3 project for me from scratch. But if that's what happens, I know what to do. So I'll just try to do that. Storyblock will serve locally on your localhost instead of app.story. That's fine. I don't know what the difference is, but we'll see. I don't, yeah, I think something is, yeah, that's it. So, so two things I need to figure out here is the first thing is I'm not sure why it's a demo. I want to create an actual project. And then secondly, this command would actually create a Nox 3 app for me. So there's no need for me to create the Nox 3 app by myself because now, if you can see here, I have already installed a Nox 3 and inside Storyblock also gave me another Nox 3 app. So what I will just do is, again, I have to start all over again, delete everything and only just use this command. So I'll just do that. I'll delete the gift code.dev that I created before. And now I have nothing in this, directory. So I can now run that first command that I ran, which is this one. So it just creates the Nox 3 app and also set up Storyblock, I think, in it. So now I can select Nox 3, npm, EU, and I'll call this the gift code .dev and say yes for this. Okay, it looks like it did what I expected it to do. I'll just make sure that's the case. I'm opening the project in VS Code again because this one I've deleted. So I don't think it's doing it. So I'll open VS Code. VS Code is open now. So now I can go to the project. Okay, it's perfect. So now we have a new Nox 3 app, and also it already set up Storyblock, like a demo Storyblock project for me. So I can just work with this, right? Which is easier for me. Let's run this and see what it looks like. So just check the package.json. To run it in local mode, I run npm run dev. Interesting. Oh, I need to npm install first. I keep forgetting. Yeah. I like that he installed Tailwind CSS for me as well, because that's what I plan to use. And yeah, okay. So if I run npm run dev now, and I open my local project, in this case, nice. I like what we have here. I'll just bring it down to this computer. It's hard when you're working with two different monitors because now my default monitor is the big one, and that's not the one I'm using. So I have to always drag it there. But this is what we have, which is nice in this case because I was supposed to set it up by myself, right? I was supposed to go and set Nox and then set up Storyblock, but that command that I ran set up Storyblock and Nox for me. So now what I just need to do is just start building out my components, which is essentially makes the whole process easier for me. It even went ahead to install Tailwind CSS, and I guess it already set up Tailwind for me. Let me just confirm. Yeah, it already set up Tailwind for me. I just need to add my own custom configurations here and start working. Okay, let's start doing that. Light mode, yes. Actually, I'm team dark mode, but sometimes I like to just see things easily, so that's why I'm using light mode today. And also because I'm streaming, is better like that, so people can see what I am showing. Um, so if you've not used Noxt before, maybe I can do like a brief overview of what Noxt is and how the project structure looks like. It's quite similar if you've done anything with React. I've not done React in a while, so but how Noxt works in this case is you have things called components, you have things called pages. This is the Noxt directory essentially. And I've not created a component yet, right? Or the component is for this specific project is inside Storyblock because we're using Storyblock adapter or Storyblock components, right? Components are essentially building blocks of your application. So, for example, in this Figma, where's my Figma? In this Figma design that I have, components can be a card or a button or a title heading. I can like I already see how I want to break up my components for this website or for this project, because I have components are also supposed to be reusable. So for example, if you create a card component, you should be able to use it in different places of your website. Looking at this design, you can see that I have a card component and I'm reusing it. So if I create a card component in Nox, I don't need to recreate it again. I can just reuse it in different areas of the site, right? And that's the goal of the project, to reuse as much components as I can. Looking at the homepage, for example, here, this image can be an image component on its own. The nav can be a nav component. I can have like a card component here. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know how I'll structure it. I can have a button component. I can have a image gallery, like image gallery component and footer component, right? So I think that's how we'll go about it, right? So for now, in the project that we created, they already added like different components. There's a teaser, a page, a grid, and a feature. But we're not using any of this. But just so I understand what they are and how they are being used, I would go back to Storyblock, which is here. Let me refresh this and see if it does anything different. Okay, now it knows that I have done this step. So the next step is to create a story. A story is what we call the content entries you can create in Storyblock. I would create one and see what that is. So if I say home, for example, and I want this slug to be home, it should be in the root folder. Choose an existing content type is a page. So let's create that. The slug home is already taken. You see home page. Oh, nice. Okay. This is very familiar to me. Okay. This is called the Storyblock Visual Editor. And the reason why I like Storyblock is because it's not just an headless CMS that you can use. You can also have it replicate your site in their editor, meaning that with your visual editor, instead of going back to your site after you finish building it to change like gifts in the website, you can come here. As long as you've made the component editable on Storyblock, you can edit it directly from here, and it's once you publish it, it will reflect on your site that you've already deployed. So that's why I really like it. I like the visual editor. So we have to do some setup here. So let's go over that. This is like an onboarding this thing for the app. Interesting. It's like a tour. There is discussions. Nice. And then there's a library. Okay, I'll go and look at those things later. But this is what I need to do now. I need to. Am I even supposed to make this public to everybody? This is a token, and how do I use it? I don't know yet. So let's go back to the docs. Yeah. So what I want to do is try to make sure that this page that I'm seeing here, that is the local host of my app, is reflecting here in Storyblock. So that's what I'm trying to do. And for that, I will go to the docs. Yeah, I think this should help me. But this article is old. Yeah. So this is where I am. This is where I am. And then it says to enable the visual editor. In order to enable the visual, we'll have to define the default environment URL. We'll do that in the settings. So I'll go to settings in my Storyblock settings here. And then I go to visual editor, and then I put my localhost URL there. Okay. My localhost URL is 3000. So I'll just put this there like that and save it. So what next? If I go back to my dashboard, actually, why is there two? Oh, this is the second one I created. I see. Okay. I have to delete one. I just want one, so I'll delete this one, right? And going back here, I don't think that what I did worked. So I'll just go and read what I was trying to read before. So it says go to the visual editor and in the location, put your localhost URL. And then after that, what happens? Now, if you go back to your home story, you won't see your Knox app there just yet. Okay. So I should open entry configuration. Okay, let's go back. And here, open here, then entry configuration. And the real part I should put is home. And let's refresh it. Okay, still not working. Yeah. After opening the entry configuration and setting the real path, after having saved that, you should now see your Next app in the visual editor. Right, but I'm not seeing mine. Okay, I think I'm missing this extra thing. I need to add this token to my build modules in the Next app. So let's do that. I already installed. So going back here, Nox.config. Oh, it's already there. Oh, this is nice. I'm not even supposed to be showing this access token, but I think I can change it later. But if I've already done this, why is it not showing the Next app? I'll just go back and come back here and see if it works. It's still not working. Yeah. Did I save it? I'm not sure. I saved it. Oh, it's working. SMH. Let's reload it again. Interesting. Okay. HTTP is not allowed. Please follow the instructions below on how to set up HTTPS. Okay, I was not even reading the I was not reading the error. So I need to use HTTPS instead, I think. Let me see if that would fix it. So if I go back to settings, visual editor, and pull HTTPS, I don't know if that's the fix, but we'll see. And then I come back here and try this. Okay, now localhost sent an invalid response. Um, it's supposed to be HTTPS if it's localhost. Oh, me, I don't know again. uh sorry. Home, real path. The funny thing is, if I preview this component, this page, okay, it's no longer working. But previously, if I preview it, I was seeing what I was supposed to see. Let's go back to the settings again and change this back to HTTP. And then in the content, see if it works. I should probably Google this problem because I'm not sure why it's not working, or I should just check their docs, right? Because they have HTTPS in their URL. Interesting. Okay. If I use HTTPS and save it and go back, localhost sent an invalid response. Is my local app working? It is now. Um, Hi Chiwendu, how are you? This stream is going to be a stream of debugging. It's not a stream of just writing code all the while. Like just because most of what I'm doing, I'm trying to figure it out too. But again, it's fine. We'll figure it out together. I just need to go back and check the description again, like the instructions from the beginning to make sure I'm not missing anything. So from here, I already have my Next app running. I created my space. Now I have this content. So here it says copy this access token, which I have copied, set up preview URL, which I also set up. Then in order to actually see your project, you have to define the default environment URL. You do that by going here. Oh, maybe they want me to set it to their own. Maybe it's 310. I don't know. But let's try. Visual Editor 310. I don't know if this will work. Well, let's see. It's not working. Reload. Wow. Okay. Okay, I've seen the fix for the error. So this should help me fix it. Setting up dev server with HTTPS proxy on Mac. Okay. Oh, it was actually telling me what I should do, but I wasn't reading it. So let's follow these instructions. So during development, your app uses HTTP, but Storyblock requires your app to use HTTPS. So this is the guide on how you can set up HTTPS for your development server. Okay, let's follow this guide. That's why it's good to read. Like when I see something, I'm just like looking for something else, and I did not see this error, this fix rather. So item, and I'll just follow exactly what they said I should do there, and I think it should fix it. So first thing they said is, let me see if I can. The first thing they said is install a MKSAT for creating a valid certificate and install localhost with MKSAT. So I'll install this, Brew install this. Sorry. I've never installed this in my laptop before, so this is new. And Brew takes time to install, so we'll have to wait for Brew. But yeah, let me just go through the instructions. So I install this, then I run these two commands, then I install the HTTP proxy and run the proxy with the commands below. Okay. Okay, I get it. So now, so what they want me to do is like forward my own local host path to their own path using this local SSL Prosry package, right? And once I do that, I think it should work. So, okay. So wait for this to install, and then once that is done, I would run the remaining commands, and hopefully that helps me fix that bug, that error. But yeah, that means this is correct. So I'll just leave it like this. Because my URL is localhost 3000, but they want me to run their own in HTTPS and localhost 310. So that's why I have to do that whole step, I think. Yeah, this will take forever. Let me get water. I think 1 second, I'll be back. I want to get water. And I'll just show you the brew installing. Where is it now? Yeah. Sometimes this thing can take like 10 minutes if your internet is slow, but my internet is quite fast. So we'll see. The problem is that it always has to update all the other brew packages that I have on my laptop. So the moment it start updating the other things, like right now, I think that's what it's trying to do. So it has to first update all the other brew packages that I have installed on my laptop before it actually installs the actual package that I'm trying to do. So that's why it takes a longer time to install. I'll be back. Let me get water. Okay. I have a water courtesy of Netlify. I have no idea. It says that 9 people are watching me do this whole thing live. Um, that's interesting. If you're here, hi. Okay, I have some highs in the chat. Oh, thank you so much. These are like people that also joined me in the last stream. So it's like you all want to see me code life. Um, it doesn't even feel like this thing is running, which is crazy. But yeah, I'll just be doing something else until that one is ready to run. But yeah, I need to run all these commands to fix the story block thing. While that is trying to while I'm trying to resolve that, I want to just make sure that I have every other thing set up correctly. So now after I've done that, I already did this, which is I set the path, which is the home, and then I'm supposed to do these whole steps, like step by step, but the command that I ran earlier already went ahead to install this package for me. So if I go back to my project, okay, now we have something going on, which is good. Okay. Now is installing the package. Oh, it has finished installing it. Okay. It has finished installing it. Now I will go back. Thinking I should just make this a like split screen so that I don't have to always go back and come back. It's annoying if I have to do that. So this would work. Wait, let me do it like this. Okay. So now we have the package MK cert already. No, MK cert. Okay, I have it. So now the next thing I have to run is MK cert install. right? Is one. Okay, he's asking me for my password. Hope he doesn't put my password here. But let's see. Okay. What else? Oh, okay, it's asking me for my password here. It's not working. Wow. Um, okay. Now we have that installed. We can now run mksat localhost. Okay, the local host certificate is not installed. I should run this to trust automatically. But it already created a new certificate for me with that. So I can move on to the next step. So the next step is to install this package called local SSL proxy. But do I need to install it globally? Yes, I do. So I'll install that. That's fast. And now I need to run this command. And I'm guessing the command is essentially setting their own localhost 310. Like, let me explain this properly. So when I run my localhost server, localhost 3000 on Storyblock, I'm trying to set a proxy to also set their own localhost 310 to like forward my own requests coming from my localhost to theirs. So that's what this command will do. I'm explaining it, but that's what it actually says here. So I'll copy this whole line. It's a long line. Okay, I don't need to copy the comments. Oh, there's also a comment on what it does there. So running the proxy to target port 3000, you can change that any port of your choice, but it should be what your app is running. Okay, so I'll run that command now. And then it says running, which is good. So you can also set up HTTPS with the following steps. Install Homebrew from a terminal and run this command. I'm not sure what this one does. It looks like it's the same thing to me. You can also set up HTTPS with the following steps. It wants me to set up HTTPS for, I'm not sure. It looks like it's the same steps. So for now, I'll just try and go back to Storyblock and see if our problem is fixed, which is this. Okay, this is good. We have something coming now, but I'm not sure why it's not showing this hello world instead. So I'll just make sure that I have everything. This is the real part. So I've saved this, reload, go back home. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing it to be. Okay, I think the big thing here, I figured out what the problem is and we fixed it. So now I can close, but I'm not sure if I need to keep it running for it to be working. And I'm not sure if I have to do this every time. Is that the case? Yes. So you can start your development project on localhost and make sure it is running here. You can verify on your web browser with this. Let me just see if I stop running this, if everything scatters. Otherwise, yeah. And this is not the best. So I have to always keep this thing running. So let's just do that. And I can close this one and just leave it in the background. So every time I need to run Storyblock, I need to always do that command first to make sure that it's working. Otherwise, it will not work. Interesting. I hope they figure it out so that I don't have to always do that. And the reason is because they also wrote it in the docs that the version 2 of this Storyblock, where is it? I thought I saw it somewhere. You only have to do that if you're using Nox 3 and if you're using the version 2 of Storyblock, I guess. So maybe they'll fix it soon. But yeah, we have it set up now. So the next thing to do is start writing my own component, and also, excuse me, also make sure that the components that I write can be editable in Storyblock. Like for example, excuse me, for example, these components that they already wrote for me, of course, it's not editable on the actual local host I'm running. But if I go back to Storyblock, I can do something like this. So I can change this to hi people. And this is what I love, right? I can do this, save it, publish it. And if I go back to, I'm not sure if that's how it works. So, oh my God, that's how it works. Okay, that's how it works. So anything I change, the API that was set up for me, because I didn't have to do that on my own. Like there's a bridge, there's something called the Storyblock bridge or Storyblock adapter. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. So the way it works is if you change anything in your visual editor, you can also see it reflect in your actual application. So that's why I like it. And another thing I also want to mention is this concept of page, and I think they call it blocks. So all of these things are called blocks. So I always have to create a block for the component that I'm adding in my page, right? So now that we have that, I will just go back to my Figma design. Let me see if I can minimize this thing. Okay. I'll go back to my Figma design and let's look at what I have and how I want to create blocks out of it. So this is the home page, and so far we have like, I'll call this part, like this first part of it, I'll call it like the hero session. So I can create a block called hero, right? And then inside the hero, I can have like a logo, a nav, like I can have a nav which will contain everything that you see here in this first part. Then I can have like an image component or an image block, and then a text block. So I'll use CSS to do the alignment later. But let's try and create those components first. If I can even finish doing the home page in this stream, that would be nice. But if I cannot, I mean, I can do a stream later, or the idea is just to show you the process of building this whole thing. So let's see how we can start off. I think the first thing to do is to go back to my code, right? And remove what they have and replace it with what I want to put. As we are going through, I want to be marking this as done. So if we make this a to-do list, I already did this, I did this. So now this is what I'm doing. Build components for the home page. And where's my code? Okay, this is it. Close this, close this. So I think that as far as I know, usually if you're working with a Nox application, every component should live inside a directory called component. But I'm assuming that Storyblock, because I'm working with Storyblock, I have to put those components inside a Storyblock directory. I'm just working off what they already gave me, right? So because I don't want to have like feature grid page with what's page, I think I still keep I need to keep page, because page is the actual page in the visual editor. But I don't need teaser, I don't need grid, I don't need feature, right? I won't delete it yet, but I will create a new one. And the first thing I would like to create for my own page, let me just open it here. I wish I can do like side by side view, but it's going to be too narrow. The first thing I want to create for my design, like I said, is this hero. I'm thinking I should call it hero, like this session, hero, right? Or should I break it up even further and just make the nav first? Let's do that. So I'll create a nav component. I'll call that nav.view. So navigation, right? And I have this VS Code extension. I don't know if it works again. No. But it essentially is like an Emacs extension that automatically helps you autocomplete any code base you're working on. For example, this one is Vue, so I need to make sure that I have it installed. I think it's called Vue 3 snippets. No, that's not it. Yeah, I've forgotten what it's called. But because I'm writing Vue 3, I don't always want to have to write everything. Okay, this is it. Yeah, so essentially, it helps me on to complete my Vue component, so I can just start working inside of it. But I can't remember what the extension is called. I can't remember what it's called, but I have it installed. I just was not sure if it was installed. Yeah, this is it. So for the nav, what do I have there? I have my logo and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links, right? So I think in my head, that would be, I'll just put placeholders for now. This will be the logo, then I'll have like a div, and then I'll put like 3 links here. Is that how it works? Yeah, okay. Href times 5, something like that. About digital garden. I think I'm doing rubbish. Sorry. This is supposed to be hey link. Okay. Hey link times 5. Yes, this is what I want to do. Sorry, Larry. Uh, there's also this thing that automatically formats. Okay, I don't have it installed. It's called Prettier, right? So Prettier is like I need to install it because I want to be able to press Control Save and to rearrange everything for me. So those are like code intelligent tools. So let's install Prettier. Prettier npm. So it's a code formatter, so I'll just install it using the command npm I. Yeah. So now that we have that installed, do I need to do anything extra? I think so. I need to create, let me just go through their docs. Is it just to install it? I would think that I need to actually add like a script for it. I'm not sure, but let's try. I think this is how it should work. So if I do, let's just see. If I do, now this thing is scattered, like the A's are scattered. But let me see if it will, if I do npm run clean. Yeah, that's not it. Do you know what I'm trying to do? Oh, maybe there is like a prettier full stop thing instead. Did it work? No. Um what did it do? You know what? I would look for a tutorial that walks me through how to install Prettier in Nuxt. All these things you don't need to you don't need to spend too much time on it if you're trying to install something. Actually, I could as well install both ESLint and Prettier. Let me follow a tutorial that guides me through it. If you find that you're struggling with something, the first thing you should do is just Google it, because most time when you Google it, you figure it out quickly. So this is what I need to do, but this is a lot of plugins. I only need Prettier for now. So this one is ESLint. ESLint. Okay. I think I want to also do all these pre-commit hooks, but that will be for later. Like every time I commit, it will help me clean all the. So if I write, if I try to commit something and there is like my code is not properly formatted, it will help me format it automatically. So I think I'll set it up. Just this is something I'm supposed to do before actually starting to write code, right? So let us do it. We are going to use this guy's article, Lee, and we'll set up everything that he says we should do. Um, I think I'll just, because I'm using NPM, I'll just copy all of this. I don't think I need TypeScript, do I? No, I'll just copy that and then come here to my terminal. This is a lot of package. Do I need everything? I'm not sure. So I'll replace the yarn with npm install. So I've already installed Prettier, so I can as well leave it there. It will change it for me. Oh, interesting. There is no package called TypeScript. Yes, Liz. You know what? I'll just install from, because the packages are a lot. The packages this person is asking me to install, they're a lot. But I'm not sure I need everything. ESLint TypeScript Prettier. TypeScript ESLint Prettier. View ESLint config standard. I'll select the one I want. I don't know if I need to do everything. I think that I would need to add everything. But one of the packages is not, like this one, and this one is wrong. I think that's because he's trying to install a specific version number. So I can remove that and see if that would help. So let's try. Okay. And I'll go back to my package.json just to see if it installs what I want it to do. Okay, now we have all those packages installed. And just so you know what I'm doing, I'm trying to set up ESLint and Prettier for this project. And going back to the tutorial, it says I should create this ESLint file and then copy this whole configuration there. So I'll say touch this one, and then inside here, copy this and put it in there. So essentially, this is the ESLint configuration for this project, and these are the plugins that I installed. So I installed the TypeScript, Inox, EV3, and Prettier plugin. Hey, Shemilore, compliment of the season to you too. Good. Now, I should also create this. I hope this thing will work. Oh. So touch this, and then in here, put this. Semicolon. I don't want semicolon, single quotes. So this is like a configuration setting custom rules that says, oh, for every code that I write, if there is a semicolon, remove it. And by default, make everything single quotes, like all of this. I think I want mine to be double quotes. So I'll say false. Yeah. I don't know if that's the default. I think that's the default. And then finally, in the script, I should add this. So I'll remove this clean that I put and then add this too. So what does it do? The first one is the linter, and I'll try and see what it does when I run it. Yeah. So now you can test this and this in your terminal. Let me test npm run lint first, because I want it to lint this nav.view file that I have. So we'll see if it works. Yeah, we have a lot of error. Replace module with module. Replace this with this. Okay. It's asking me to use double quotes for everything. Why? It's because of this. I'll leave it as true first. And let's run lint again. We still have some errors. Component name should be okay. It's using like the view ESLint rules. So Vue has like some strict ESLint rules where, for example, you cannot just name a component grid. You have to name it something like grid component or something. It has to be like two words or a multi-word component. So all my components are not multi-words. That's why it's throwing that error. What I would do is I'll ignore all of this for now. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing that, but let me show you what I mean. If you go to the view docs, um, Vue.js, there is this page that tells you about writing clean code. I'm not sure where it is. I don't know where that page is. The docs has also changed. Guide, maybe. But if anybody writes Vue and they know what I'm talking about, there's this page in the Vue docs that tells you the right way to name your components, the right way to assemble your project. I don't know where it is again. Style guide, Vue style guide. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. But this is for the old one. Vue 3 style guide. Okay, this is what I was looking for. So it has like three recommendations. Because this is a personal project, I can always ignore, but this is the right way to name your components, right? You should name your components like in multi words. So if I have a nav component, for example, it should be nav bar or nav component or something, not just nav, right? And you know what? I'll just fix it and see if that helps. Let's start this project with the right principles. I don't know if this is the best way to name them, but we'll do it that way. These are components, feature components. The plan is to stream for 2 hours today, and we've already done 1 hour. Yeah, it's not just readability, but also I say computer. Not just readability, but also to have like a seamless style for writing your code. Because if you're working on a large code base and you just name something nav and it's not yeah, you're right, for readability and also just to keep the same style going on. And since it's Vue that is recommending you to use this style, it's just best to use it. Let's see what they say. They say user component name should always be multi-word, except for the app component. This prevents conflict with existing and future HTML elements since all the elements are single word. Okay, I get the explanation. So, for example, if you name your component nav, right, or div, for example, it might conflict with an actual element in the DOM tree or whatever that thing is in the like your Vue application is pretty much a framework that gets compiled into DOM objects that the browser can understand. So to avoid conflict, it's just best to do it this way, right? That's essentially what I know it is. So if I go back and I run this linter, I think it should fix our problem for us. We still have some errors. Wow. Um, so I'm using this index. I don't want to always name everything component. I think there's a better way to name it. I would search what that's. I will search for what that is. There's a better way to name these things. Or I know where to find it. I will just look up somebody's repo on GitHub that I know that they are very They are very good with Vue, and see how they name their components. I'm not sure if this is the right username. Can even check what Noxt is doing in their own stuff. Or the person I'm looking for is not showing up. Okay, I've seen them. And that person is Sarah Drasner. She has like very good Vue applications that I've seen in the past, and I recommend, or I would always check out. Let me see this one if it's a Vue app or a Nox app. I recommend following their own style. Okay, so she uses app for every component you want to name, just prefix it with app, right? So app, GitHub app, scoreboard app, stuff. I think that's pretty much a better way to name it instead of naming it. I already know it's a component. There's no point putting components behind it, right? Does that make any sense? So I think I'll stick to naming mine app. I'll just see. So it's pretty much what, I don't know why I forgot this. This is what I have done for a project before. So I'll go back to my components and rename them to app picture. I know I'll still delete these ones because I'm not using them. What's this called again? Grid, app nav, app teaser, and I don't know if I should also name this one app page, or let's just name it page first and see. And then if I link this thing again, we have, okay, now we have prettier issues. There is a command that should fix this without me having to fix it automatically. Let me see if he added it somewhere in his article. No. npm run lint. So this is only linting, but it's not fixing it because I would like it to just fix like these errors. These errors here is like saying that I have like an extra space after I should delete the space or I should replace the space. It should fix it automatically for me. But I will finish going through this article so I can finish the setup and we'll fix it after that. So I want to add a Husky. Oh, with W. Okay, yeah. Let me see if that would work. No. Or is it F? I know there's a flag for it. Oh, F is force. So what is it? Okay, fix. They did not fix it. He didn't fix it. I think I need to properly set this up because I'm not sure I set it up properly. So this is good. This is good. Yes, lint fix. Because it's complaining of this space, it's complaining of this space, right? And the fix should fix it. So 6 errors and 0 warnings, potentially fixable with the fix option, right? So if I run fix, nah, it's not working. I think I'll go back and finish this setup first. So I'll run npx. We'll use Husky for configuring Git. Install Husky. Now let's add a command to do this, and then that's it. I think I'll just stop here. I won't do this extra one. This is taking it one step further. So let's install Husky npx. I'll come back and fix that problem. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but we'll fix it. npx Husky in it. Think. Interesting. Okay. Let me do this instead. Sorry. The command is not working. No. So Husky install command already exists in prepare script. Let me check the scripts that we have. Oh, we already installed it. I think I'm missing something. Let me run this again. So why is it failing? Can't create this hook. Directory does not exist. Try running Husky install. So if I do npm run prepare, do I need? I don't even know what I'm doing now. I'm following this guy's article, but it's giving me errors. I'll finally install this last package and then fix every other thing that we're getting errors with. Okay, now that that's done, now let's add a command to pre-commit. So if I do npx OSCI this, can't create hook because this directory does not exist. Try running Husky install. Okay, npx Husky install. It's not easy to code live because I have no idea why this thing is failing. Not a Git repository. Okay, I know why it's failing. Because I did not run Git. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This is not a Git repo yet. So now that is a Git repo, I will try and rerun it. I think I should do the steps from the beginning. Just npx. Thank you for those in the chats helping me. npm run prepare. Still not a Git repo. This should be a Git repo now. GST. It's still not a Git repo. It's what am I doing? The gift code.dev. It's not actually a Git repo. How did you make it? Is it not git dash dash in it? Or just git in it? No. It's git in it now. Wow. We are going to Google how to initialize a Git repo in VS Code. Because I know it's Git in it and I'm not sure why it's not working. Nope. This is not what I'm looking for. Oh, VS Code can actually already do it for me. See, this life, I think there's something wrong with my project because I don't know what is happening. Even the direct way to do it from VS Code is still throwing errors. Yeah. Let me just ask my faithful chat GPT what this error means. Because there's no time to the path. What's wrong with the path? What's wrong with the path? This is there are two dots in the path. Two dots in the path. Oh, you mean this one? Um this is the this is the project, and then there's already a git there. Should I delete that one? I think so. And I should run it again. Oh, finally. Okay. We fixed it. Now this is a Git repository, which is good. And I can now go back and run that command again. Finally. Okay, now that one is installed. And the last thing I was supposed to do was run this command. Where is it? Was run this command. Okay, so we've created a pre-commit hook, and essentially what that should do, if it will work correctly, is when I try to, if I say, if I want to commit, for example, git add, git commit, initial commit. If I try to do this, it's going to, like, and my code is not properly linted, it's not going to run, right? I guess. Wait, let me go back. I'm one step ahead. I think I should create a, yeah, I think I should make like this thing, and I did not do it. So in my package.json, I'll copy this and put it there. So let's put it here, like that. Yeah, thank you for helping me in the chat. I really appreciate you. This should be npm, I think. So let's try it again. So if I do this, missing script lint stage, but I already added it. Next, we'll add our lint stage configuration. You can separate lint stage in its own config file, but for simplicity, let's add it to our package.json. Yeah, they said it can either be a script, or I can either just put it in the root of the package.json, but I did not put it in the root, so I'll move it away. In the root of the package.json. So script, start plate, depend. That's correct now. I think it should be this way. I'll leave the yarn and see what happens. No, it's not working. Oh yeah, don't worry. I feel like, let me just open my chat GPT, because I need to be ready for more potential bugs that I'll come across. So I'll just leave it here. So I've been using chat GPT for for a lot of things, right? So um we'll use it, don't worry. I don't know what this is. Missing script lint stage, but there's the script there. So to see the list of scripts, run npm run. Okay, it wants me to add a lint stage script. But that's not what the guy said in his article, right? Or did I miss that part? This setup is taking longer than I expected. So now let's add a command to pre-commit hook. Okay, this is it, and I missed it. So let's add a command to pre-commit hook. Does that mean add a script for it? Next, we'll add yeah, I think that's what it means. I think, I'm not sure. Let's try. So if you do pre-commit, because there's supposed to be a pre-commit hook actually. And so me, I went to run this. I'm not supposed to run it. I don't know. But let's see. npm this, npm this, and npm this. So this is not making sense. npm npx this. This doesn't look correct to me. I'll try to run it again as this. So it's creating it here for me. Um, npm run lint stage. But isn't where is the link stage script? Is this it? If this is it, I can put it in the main script though, because I don't get it. npm run. Oh, sorry. I'm mixing npm run where I'm supposed to be writing Nox component though. I say let me set up this thing, and it's taking longer than expected. Um, npm run. Thank you. I know what you mean now. Thank you. Okay. Yes, it makes sense. Yeah. Now I see. Sorry. Now what was the next thing I was supposed to do? Git. So the problem was in the example he gave yarn, but with yarn you don't need to add a run command to it. You just need to run it. So me, I just removed the yarn and I put npm, but I missed run. Thank you. Um. So now what I would do is I would git commit. Let it work now because I'm tired. It's not still working. um. Okay, I don't know why it's not working because I followed this. Let's use Chat GPT. How to set up prettier and ESLint for a Nox 3 app. It's like this, I'm tired. we can as well use we can as well use Chat GPT and see if it's pretty similar to what I've done. This is mad, right? Oh no, sorry. I went to click. What did I do? How I wanted to clear my history. How to set up ESLint and Prettier for a Nox 3 app. Okay. I'll just confirm that I have the stuff installed that it's recommending me to install because I've done all of this already. Okay. I should add this fix too. I don't have it. Mm, is ChatGPT not just mad? Like, it's so nice. This is what the lint fix is for. Oh, okay. I do not know. Okay. I already have all of this. So I can also ask it how to also set up pre-commit hook with lint stage. I think that's what it is, right? And Husky. Where's the tab? Chat GPT for the win. Like there's no point googling stuff these days. And Husky. So everything you recommended earlier on, I think I already did it. But I prefer this one because you see, I'm not installing stuff that I don't need, right? Like I only need ESLint Prettier, ESLint config, and ESLint plugin Prettier. But me, I went to install TypeScript stuff, and I'm not even using TypeScript. So I think I should remove them. Like all this TypeScript stuff. That way, I'm not using TypeScript. Makes my package more. If I leave it, it will make my package bloated. Okay, so now that it told me what to do, let's follow it. For the Husky thing, I already installed this, I think, Husky and Lean Stage. Yes. And then it says I should add this part to my package.json file. You see the problem? This is what I need. I don't have it. So I'll copy it. I'll copy everything here. I'm supposed to add this Husky to like something like this, right? But I don't have it. So I'll delete this one and leave it this way and try it. So the error I was getting before was telling me that I don't have this stuff. So let's see. Is that everything? Okay, this will run the AirSlim fix command on all your JavaScript and Vue files. And then if I run my Git commits again, wow, what's the problem? Missing script lint stage. At this point, I don't know what the problem is with this command because I might as well delete this thing because I don't know what that is. Finally, that was the problem. This will make you think that you're going crazy. There was a Husky directory. So remember when it said, oh, you can either put the Husky in its own script or you can put it directly in your package.json. So I think I ran a command to put it in a separate script. So that was what was blocking us. But it works, right? And yeah, everything works well, I think. So let's pause there and go back to what we were doing before, which was setting up our um, app navigation components. I was trying to do like just add like simple links, like in the design. If you check, I have a logo and then I have 6 links. So I'll put one extra link here. And then I'll write the CSS for this just to make it look exactly the same. Then after that, we'll try and see if it's looking like what I have in the design. So the first thing I'll do is I'll export this logo because I don't have it. So I'll export it. Let's put it in my desktop. And is there a asset folder here? But it's for CSS. I think there is a way to manage images with Storyblock in a way that I don't have to store the images in my directory because I don't want to do that. But I need to. Let me clear ChatGPT for now. ChatGPT, thank you very much for helping helping my life. Um, I'll close all of these tabs. I don't need this again. Yeah. Thanks for the whoever wrote that article. Thank you as well. My app is breaking now, so let me fix it. Sorry. Because I changed all these components and I did not make it reflect somewhere. But where? Where is it? I think this should be Storyblock component and page. I think this should be page still. I think so. You know what? Let's rerun everything from scratch. npm run dev and see if it fails. Okay. Yeah, it still fails, and that's because I've changed something I'm not supposed to change. So what did I change? I changed the name of this app. This is the page component and it's being used here, right? I need to understand something. This is feature, I need to find like the what's it called? The root of the application. but I don't know where that is. It's usually supposed to be in. Where is it supposed to be in again? Yeah, this setup is different from a normal Noxt app. So we have this. We have this. Ah, maybe it's breaking because of I changed it here, but I'm also supposed to change it in Storyblock itself. I'll just confirm that that's the problem. Putting everything back the way it was. Sorry. So this is how everything was, and if I come back here, it's still not working. Interesting. Mm, what did I do? Uh, okay. I'll go back to my chat and see this. Delete this one. So the error I'm getting is there's no match found for location with the path home. What does that mean? Uh, I'm guessing this is the story block component displaying what we have in the home page, but it's coming from where? Mm. Now everything is looking more like everything is looking too confusing for me. And in order to fix this, I have to go back to the root, which is the docs in this case. Because the components that I used to have, I went to change the name. And I think that if I change a name of a component, it should also be changed here. Where is it? Block. It should also be changed here, I think. But I did not do that. And because there's a connection between this and the component that I have, so obviously something is broken. But I don't know what it is now. So I'll go back to the docs, the storybook docs, and confirm how to create a component. So what's the time? I have 30 minutes left. At least let me do the nav or the first page self. Okay. So here it says the idea of using Storyblock for this particular use case for creating your dynamic component is so that content managers can create your pages composed of different components and developers can use the JSON from the API to render those in the Nox app. Okay. So page is a content type which I shouldn't change. Grid is a nestable component. Feature is a nestable component. Teaser is a nestable component. I can find all of this in the component section of my space. So I should probably read this to understand the difference between a content type and a nestable component. Yeah. So in Storyblock, there are two different types of components you can create. You can either create a content type or a block. The content type is what allows you to create templates for your stories. You can create as many content type as you want. For example, post, project, product page, etc. While the next table components, which is called the block, is okay. Okay, this makes sense. So in my own scenario, if I'm creating like about or speaking, those would be like this content type. But if I'm creating hero, card, or any of that, this would be a nestable component. Okay, that makes sense. I did not know that was the case. So creating the components, you would need to, first of all, by default, have a page called component storyblock page.view. But mine is not in a components directory. It's just on its own. But that's fine. So I'm not supposed to change this page. And I think it's also not supposed to be in caps. Or is in caps lock. Okay. So I didn't change any of this, right? Everything looks the same. I think everything looks the same. This is the page. It has the story block component in it, the grid, the feature, the teaser. And you may be wondering why we added these components to a storybook subfolder. By doing that, they are found and loaded automatically in the storyblock Nox module. I'm not sure I've done this composition API setup. Let me check. npm install Nox composition API, but this is using Vue 3, so I don't think I need to do this part because composition API is already shipped by default in Vue 3. So I'll skip it. And now that our components are ready, we can fetch the home story data. You can view the JSON by clicking the draft. All we have to do is to replace the content of this pages index.view with the following code. So let me see if this is the same with what I have. Pages. Okay, I know why. I know the problem. The problem is I went to change index to index component. That was the problem. Wow, gifts. Wow. Wow. So now our page should be working. I hope. Where is it? Yeah, it should work. Wow, gifts. Okay, now I can, at least now I learned two things. So I learned that you don't just have all the components as the same type. You have a nestable component, and then you have something called, according to here, you have something called, where is it now? I need to read this whole thing because I'm just working off from initial knowledge that I've gotten from Storyblock. But in those projects that I worked, I did not set up it. I didn't set up Storyblock by myself from scratch. It was already set up when I started working on the project. So I know how to add component. I know how to do those things, but I've not done the setup from scratch before. So this is very handy. So I think I need to read all this documentation, but obviously I will not read it in this stream. I'll read it after. But now I know that there are two types of components. There is the content type and the block components. Okay. So now that we have our page working, I want to stick to that style guide that I initially mentioned, which is having app with every component name. So if I change it here, I need to change it also in Storyblock, I think. So I will just make sure that I do that app nav. And I don't need all of this again, but for now, I'll just leave it because I'm still trying to figure out how everything works together. App feature, app grid, page. I'm not supposed to change page, I think. And of course, our application should break if I refresh it. It should break because I have not updated these ones here, the nestable component. So I'll just go back here. I think this is where I should change it. I'm not sure if I change this to app feature, what happens? Let me just change one of it and see if it will change anything for us. They already said it takes a while to update, so that might be the issue. Using the JSON as the block name. used in the editor. I wanted to show feature. This is nice. This is new. This block icon. I've not seen it before. Um, we still have people here, right? I'll soon end the stream, but the part that took most of my time here is setting up the prettier, which shouldn't have taken my time. But yeah, I'll just make sure that at least we do like one of the components, and then I can continue working on it later. But I'm looking for where is it now? I should probably change everything and see it reflects. The technical name is used in the JSON as the block name, so I'm guessing it should be upgrade. I hope. I didn't change this one. Aptiza. And then I want to make the actual name be feed. If this one works, I will just replace this component with my nav, and that's already one component that we've made. Caesar. Okay. So if I check here, it still doesn't work. If I check the actual content on here, it still doesn't work. I think I'm missing something. Let me see what the JSON looks like. So they said if I come here and check, maybe here. No, I don't know. I'm trying to see what the JSON structure for the component looks like from Storyblock, so that I can be sure that, like, I'm looking for this thing essentially. Story name slug component. Where do I find the JSON? I think it's here. So if I open here and say draft JSON, okay, this is what I'm looking for. So I changed the component name to Aptiza, but maybe it should also be it should be in camel case. I don't know if that would make any difference. So I'll try that because my components are in camel case as well. Block library, config, app feature. Maybe that one would fix it. Upgrade and app teaser. Okay. Let this one work now because I'm not getting. Do I need to save it? No. So I'll check the JSON again. It has the same name with the component that I have, right? So it should work. Except I'm missing something. Let me restart this side. npm run dev. Okay, it's working. Good. So let's go back to Storyblock and reload it. It's not working in Storyblock. Okay. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? It's working here in the local hosts, but it's not working in Storyblock. And I think the reason is just the naming. I'm not sure I'm getting the naming correctly. So I've changed the name to Aptiza. I'll just close all of this and publish it. I don't know if that will change anything, but let's try. And then refresh. Still not getting it. Open draft. No, sorry. Yeah, it looks good to me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Okay, SMH. He was working all. He was working all this while. Hey, Kelvin. Yes, we are doing some Knox things here. Oh. We are rebuilding a site. We are building a portfolio with Knox and Storyblock. Okay, so we have everything working. I just want to swap out this. Um, maybe I just want to add a new component, which is this app nav. So the first thing I need to do is put my image. Oh, God. Another thing is I was looking at, instead of putting the image directly in my assets, is there a way to upload that image to Storyblock? So I think I will just figure it out here now that we know that there is a structure to these things. So I saw assets somewhere. Yes, this is what I was looking for. I want to manage the images in Storyblock. I don't want to put them in my folders, right? So let's see if we can set it up. So assets in Storyblock are files that you upload either using an image file or multi-asset fields or in the assets manager itself. Assets uploaded Storyblock will be hosted on their infrastructure and delivered with a CDN. So this is why I want to actually use it, right? I don't want to save it in my own Git repo. So additionally, you can use our built-in image service to optimize. Oh, they also have this. This is nice. So how do I set it up? That's the important thing. Let me look for it. Um, in their docs, they should have it maybe here or here. I think for the most part, because this service is something that, like I said, I've used before, but it's been a while. And in the previous project that I used it, I wasn't the one that set it up. It was already set up. I just started working with it. So all of this is a bit new to me. So that's why we have to figure everything out from scratch. But yeah, so apparently there's a story block image service that you can use in your application. And now just confirm this is Noxt image. Interesting. Um, okay, we can use Noxt image and Storyblock. Wow. Um, I don't want to optimize the image yet. I just want to upload it. Well, this one is for optimizing. Okay, let's check the other here. Okay. Let's try something. So I first of all want to add a new block called nav so that we can have a nav here. So regardless of whether that nav comes with an image or not, let's just add something. So let's add a placeholder text. So in this case, I'll just put the gift code here. Doesn't matter if there's an image or not. I just want to see how it works. And I'll just put like text here. I don't need to link it anywhere for now. This is Digital Garden. This is Speaking Work Resources Gear. Okay. Resources and gear. Okay, now that we have this, I want to try and get this component to show in the story block. So to do that, I'll go back here where we have block library. I'll add a new block and I'll call it app nav. So now I know how to do this, and I know that this is a nestable block, right? Because from the explanation that I saw, a content type block is like for landing page. So if I want to create the digital garden, I'll make it a content type block. But for now, my nav is a nestable block. So I'll add that, and then the configuration, I'll call it nav. And oh, there's a way to even I love this. I like the whole icon thing going on here. So but I can't find an icon for navigation. I'll use this one for now. So now that we have that, does it do anything? We'll see. Let's go back to our dash, our content, and check here and open my block library with, no, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for how to add that block here. Okay, this is it, app nav. So if I add it here, save, is that how it works? No, it did not work. Okay, let me see if I can add it like this. This is it. So we have the nav, right? Okay. And the field types, I need to define the field types. What are those? I think I'll just move this here. It shows and it works. It works. Oh my God, I'm so happy. This is it, right? But of course, we don't have CSS or anything happening. And yeah, you're right. But yeah, I think with other CMS that I've used, they always have the image service. So I think that's correct. This is this is what I want to do. So let's do CSS now. And I'm thinking I should figure out the, yeah, I know I'm missing something. So there is a way to make your content editable. Because I went ahead to go and write this whole thing in my view components, there's no way I can edit it here. So instead, I'm going to rewrite this component to make it an editable block. And I think there should be a way for me to do that. Meaning, essentially, this is an editable, okay. My nav is not editable, right? But you can see teaser. Wait, let me refresh this. Teaser, why is it not showing? This used to be this used to be up here. Is it because I removed it? Teaser. Yes, because I deleted it. Interesting. So let me bring it back. This is it. So I can just copy that component and use it. So this is the teaser, and this is what I want to do. So I don't want to directly hard code the links. I want to add a block type so that I can have like a block for the nav items, right? Like the items on the nav, and then I can have a block for the logo, right? So that's what I'll do now. But for now, let me show you what I wanted to show you before. So if I refresh this and go back, this is an editable block because now I can come here and say, my people. Is that how you spell my people? Essentially, so this nav that I've added, this nav component does not do that. So let's rewrite it so that we can make it editable. And for that, I would need to go to the nav and I think define blocks. But what are blocks? Your block consists of one or more multiple fields with different field types. So let's define a block called logo. That would be the placeholder for the logo. Is anybody learning anything? Because me, I'm learning a lot of stuff from this stream. And this is a content type of image, I think, or asset, right? I really like the version 2 of Storyblock editor. So this is going to be the logo, and I don't know if I should make it a required field. I don't know what this means. So I'll just say logo for the brand. Okay, nice. This is a type image. This is what I was saying, that there is a way to upload your images to the CMS, and this is where I need to do it. I've not set it up yet. So apparently there should be a default asset folder that I've created, but I don't have that yet, as you can see. So I'll save this for now and come back and come back and come back to it. Or let's create the other blocks that we need. How do I do that? Go back here, go back here. Interesting. No, okay. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. So I want to have items, and an item is essentially what you see as about digital guiding and speaking. That's a nav item. So I'll create a new field type called item. I think on I can call it nav item. Nav item. And then it's going to be a type link or text or link. I think it should be a type link because I'm supposed to link to it. We'll leave it like that for now. I can always come back and change it otherwise. Oh, this is it. So um it should be required. I don't know. I'll leave it as optional. Nav item for each page on the website. And it should be an anchor link as enable anchor field on internal link. I don't know what that means, but it looks like what I'm looking for. So I'll select it for now and come back. You can always edit it. So these are the two things I want to have as my field items for this nav component, right? So if I go back, oh, this is so nice. Oh my God. Now what I just need to do is when I set it up in the code, I will just come here and add like my speaking page, my everything. I just put it and it should show up there. And then I use CSS to make it pretty. Okay. We are getting there. So I'm supposed to replicate these things that I created in the code. Essentially, where I have all of this, I have to remove it. And instead, I think look at the JSON for this and see what I'm expecting, which is draft JSON. I'm expecting, is this the right place to be looking at? Nav has no shoot, so I need to save it first. Okay, now if I check draft JSON, now I see it. Nice. This is nice. So what I need to call is block.nav item. Or we'll try for the logo, block.logo, I think. Because you see it here, right? So let's try. But we have to make it editable, right? So I'll copy this whole div here and put it in the nav as the image and make this image. Or does it have to just be a div on its own? I don't know. So I'll try two things. I'll make it, the div is an editable block, and then the block inside is the image. I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll try. Voila. Why is this thing not doing? Then we'll make it the source to be the block dot logo, right? So we'll make it block dot logo like that. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll come back and remove. I think there's a misleading div here. So now that we have this, if I go back here to our block and refresh, hopefully nothing breaks. I don't know why it's always breaking here. Yeah, something is breaking. Okay, something is breaking. You know what? I'll leave it as block.headline. I know that's not what we want, but let's just see what happens. Everything is breaking now. I'll go back to the local version of what I have. So that's localhost 3000. And yeah, it says cannot read headline. Was it headline I had before? Yes, no. I think I need to do one thing extra that I'm missing. Because if I copied and pasted this and it's not working, then yeah. Okay. I'll just check what they did before. So I need to also add, I know what I'm missing. I need to add this in the script setup, these props. And I did not add it in my here. So is that how it should be? Let's confirm. This is using view 3. This is not. So delete this and replace it. And hopefully this should work. Let's try. Nice. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. Okay. And because I want it to be an image, so I'll say image source block.logo. I don't want this. And I say take it and let's see. Ah, this is good. But it's using the CSS for this thing. Okay, it's using Tailwind, all of this. I don't want it. So I'll remove it. So now we have that. Let me now see if in the actual app, if I upload my logo, it shows up here. Because that'll blow my mind. I don't know why I'm always getting that error here. So let me upload my logo. This is it. I want to call it logo. Upload. This is so cool. So now I've uploaded this logo, and if I come here and I include it here and save, let's see if it will show up there. It doesn't. Okay. I think it's because I'm missing one extra step, and I would edit it. Oh, I can even add alt text caption here. So that means I don't need to put it here in an image. So I'll just put it like block dot logo like that. So I can remove this one, I think. And yes, that was the mistake. So now I can just say the file name. So block.logo.file name, I think. Gifts. You sabi work. But yeah, it should be an image. Now it makes sense. It makes sense, perfect sense. Image source should be this. I actually enjoy working with. I like this. At first when I was doing this stream, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know what is going on here. But now I actually like it. So this is the alt text that I included. So I think it's alt. No, I don't. Oh God. I sabi work. I know, right? Our stuff is working. This is the logo, right? So in the editor, I need to add the alt text. I can even add caption. I can even add copyright and source. That's really nice. So the alt text here will be the gift code. I mean, there should be a more descriptive alt text, but I'll just use that. And then here, I can now refer to the alt text, I think. I don't know if this is the real title. I don't know if this is the real title, but we'll see. If it's wrong, I'll correct it. I can check it from the JSON. It is called alt. Okay, just alt. So now we have our image. Of course, the image width and height, I have to reduce it. But my people, we have our nav coming. And thank you. Thank you so much. And the next step is, let's see if we can actually get the correct width and height directly from the, can I? Or I can write CSS for that. Why am I bothering myself? So I can here in the class, because they already set Tailwind for me, I can just do like, I'm not sure if this is how you do with in Tailwind, but we'll see. It'd also be crazy if I change something here and it changes here automatically. Is that the case? I need to figure out this problem. I don't know what it is. Okay, that's not the case. Is this how you change the width in Tailwind? Let me confirm. Hmm. Forgotten the classes for width and height in Tailwind. Can anybody remind me? I'll just check their docs. Oh, we've been streaming for 2 hours. Wow, that's interesting. I'm glad we are getting somewhere. Let's try to do the nav section and then I can end the stream. Um, okay, okay. I was writing, I'm writing the wrong sizing. So if I go here and I want it to be W32. Oh, I was right. So maybe I need to put the class in the image. I think so. Because it's the image I want to change, not the container. If it works, then I'll be happy. I need to figure out why this thing is doing. It does not work. So the simple thing I can easily do is inspect this thing and try to change it from the editor. So of course it's applying it, but it's working. I do not even know. Okay, okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. So if I do H 60. Actually, I wanted to make it small. So I can just make it W12. H12. Is 12 even a correct class? H8, W8. Voila. It's looking too big and I want to reduce the width. How hard is that? Um, is there a class for maximum 16? Okay, we have it. 16 is the one. Okay. Oh, you mean from the inspector? Usually, when I'm working with Tailwind, maybe it's a hack that you don't know about. When I'm working with Tailwind and I want to quickly test the class, I always use this thing in the inspector called dot class. So this is where you see all the class that has been applied for your Tailwind. So from here, you can easily test, change it, right? And I will know which one. That's how I debug Tailwind stuff. Okay, now we have a perfect logo. And the next thing we want to do is fix the nav item. So all those nav items you see, let's go back to my design, right? All these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to put them in. And then I would now write the base class for the HTML because as you can see, the margin of my design between the what's it thing called? The extreme end of the page, there's some margin happening here. So I have to already write some base classes so that, it looks closely to the design that I've created. Because as we see now, is literally towards the end of the page. That's not what I want. So let's try the nav item thing. I think if I say home, for example, what happens? Open in a new window. Wow, this is really nice. And I saved this. Okay, I've not written the code, so it's not going to show up. So let's go back here and write the code for the nav item. This thing is not serious. So after I went through, okay, I want to use, I don't even know which one is this. Let's use this one. Yeah. Okay, now we've written, this is for the image. Now let's create another editable block for the item, for the nav items, right? So I think here I would put what I added before, which is like links, right? So I'll say a link times 6. But do I need to do it 6 times? I don't think so. I'll do one and then create a for loop so that it loops over what I add in my this thing. I think that would work. So maybe this will be a v4 item in nav underscore item block dot item like that, and then add a key. Key will be item dot id. I don't know if there's an ID for it, but let's just write this for now. So my guess is if I go and check the JSON for this nav item, because this is how I'm going to be working. I'm going to be using the JSON. So this is an one nav item and it has an ID. Okay, that's good. And the URL. So the URL is where it takes you to. Okay. So let's try and go here and say this would be item. Just for an, oh, sorry. And then this would be item.link. Item.link. And then can bind this href. Let's see if this will work. So if I go here and I've already created one item. So if I save it and, oh, I'm good. It's working. But yeah, CSS needs to be adjusted. So we've added one link. So if I add more links, let me just see. Can I add more links? No. Oh, I need to make sure that whatever I'm define an anchor ID now item. Voila. So I need to make sure that for every new link I create, it has to be a content type. Sorry, it has to be a content type, and I only have one content type. So what we'll do is we'll go and create all the content types that we need, which is all the pages, right? So that I can link to them. So I'll save this for now. Go back here and create more. So I'll create, for example, is this what I need to create? I think so. I'll create a about content type. Is it page? No. Sorry. I need to know what I'm doing. Maybe it's here. Content type is page. And it has a body that is blocks. So if I reuse it for I'm just trying to figure out if I should be creating individual content type because all the page I have, they all look the same. So this is the about page, right? This is okay, they look the same, but they have different structures, right? This is the about page, this is the digital garden. They don't have the same structure. So I'm wondering if I should make new, what's it called, content type, or I think I should do both. I think I should create a new content type, a new block called about, and call it this, I think. If it doesn't work, I will delete it, but I'm just thinking out loud. And content time block, landing page, posts, product page, posts, author, product page, team members, and what you can do as content type. There's even a universal block. I don't even know how to use that one. My instinct is telling me that I should use this page, reuse it for every page, and just create a new block, a new story. So if it doesn't work, I'll go back. But at least I know that I have two options. So I should use this. Let's create about. We don't have anything to lose. If it doesn't work, I'll come back and change it. So I have a new about page. Obviously, there's nothing on it. Why is it? Is reusing what I have from home? I don't know why this thing is doing for every time until I go back. Home about. Okay, I think this is what I want because then the block for home is different from the block for about. Does it make sense? No. Please, I need you people's input. Do you understand what I'm trying to figure out? I'll delete this. Let me go back and explain everything again. So there is something called assets, block library. Yeah, this, and they have two different types. But I'm thinking that I can reuse the page everywhere. I just need to have different components and put it, like place it where it's required. So I'll delete this for now and reuse page because a page is just a component that has different blocks, and a block is like, I think, combination of different things, text, number, and the rest. So I'll leave it like this. If it doesn't work, I'll come back and edit it. So I'll reuse page, and then I'll come here, create a new about, story, about, and reuse page. Let's leave it like this for now. So exactly. So I can always reuse the previous blocks that I've created. This is what I would do. So for now, I don't know why it's still displaying what I have in my home page, but at least I know that I have an about. So I can go ahead and create the other ones. Digital garden, reuse it. And then I have one extra, I think two extra ones. I can actually create it from here. Nice. So I need to create. Yeah, I'm just going to try it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we can come back and edit it. Speaking, work, resources, and gear. This is this is a nice way of building this stuff because is I don't know how to explain it. Is visual, meaning that I mean you I still get to write the code for each of the components, but it's like I can literally take my design and see what I'm building, if that makes any sense. Right. So I like it. So I have a work page, right? Work resources and gear. Resources, resources, and gear. So that's all we have. And of course, we've not defined the body of each of this page. But what I want to do first is in the home page, right? After I figure out that out, I need to fix this 404 thing because it's annoying me now. Now that I have all the links for the nav, I just want to try and create them inside here. So add like 5 nav items here so that we can have them and arrange them with CSS. But in order to do that, I need to make sure that this nav item is a block of navs. It's not just one. So I'll change it. So instead of it being a link, I want it to be a block. Nav, and call it nav items. Nav items for, okay. Now if I save that and try to add something in the nav items, oh, this is nice. Sorry, this is not what I want. What do I want? What do I want? The content type that I want to add is a content type that I can have a list, a drop down list to select from, but I don't know which content type that is. So it's not a block, sorry, field type. It is a maybe group. It should be a group. Let's see what a group is in their documentation. See, See, that 404 is annoying me. I want to fix it. So we'll fix it after I figure out this nav item thing. So we have a block, which is a field to allow nexting of blocks. A block is a field to allow nexting of blocks. While the other one I said was a group is a component that allows you to group fields in a section. This is what I want to do. So we'll use a group. So in that way, let's try to use a group. I mean, if it's not what we want, we can always come back and delete it. So I'll choose its group and save. So what does it do? Save. But can I not add something inside? Interesting. So group is a group that has field name, nav item, change. Why do I have the logo? I don't know. What's that? I don't know. Let's save it and see. Okay, no, this is not what I want. This is grouping everything together. This is not what I want. Can I go back? Can I redo what I've done? So this group is going to group. So maybe when I finish doing all these things like this, I can group them into a group. So everything is together, but that's not what I want. So I would edit this and edit this and remove the logo from there. But I don't know which field type I should use for this thing I'm trying to do. This is not a group. It's a link, but a group of links is what I'm looking for. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? It's not multiple options. It's not multi-assets. No. Text area. You know what? Let me just add one link for now. The way we had it before. Maybe I can add multiple of them. It's fine. Like this. Internal link. Okay. Gift. But this is still not what I want because I mean I can add gear, I can add resources, I can add work, but it's not allowing me add everything. I don't know if that makes sense. So in this place, I'll say item dot draft JSON is item dot URL. Yeah, I think item dot URL. I think. Okay. What do we have? Save. It's not working. Yeah, it's not showing anything. So it's item dot link, maybe. No, that's not what I want. I'm looking for the exact. There should be item dot name. Cached URL is what I want to show. But why is it cached URL? Is it because I did not set the URL name directly? Interesting. It's still not showing. So essentially, I want to show the name. So if I say the link should be either resources, work, speaking, or whatever, but I don't know why it's not showing that. An internal link, a resource. Yeah, we have tried today, Sha. It's not easy. I'll just check the configuration of this thing. So we have a link of type nav items, but it should be of type just one link. So what if I have multiple links and I group it with the group component? Maybe that would be better, I think. So if I make like, instead of this to be nav items, Okay, I think I know what I'll do. So we have nav as the component, and inside these nav items, I want to delete these nav items and instead make it a group. And then in the group, have a link. What am I saying? Let's try and see what my brain is telling me to do. So let's create something called nav items. Nav items. And we want to make it a group, right? Is that how it works? Save. Because otherwise it's nav items. This is a text. So now I want to change it to a group, right? And put this one in it. Save. So now, yeah, I can now rename this one to, instead of nav item, I can rename it to be called link. Link. And oh, interesting. I can't change the name of the field after I've created it. Okay, let me delete this and create something called link. I'm also seeing that I'm not following the same caps for these links that I'm making. Yeah, so I'll save this and save this. So if I go back here, nav items, edit this one and say link, save, save. Does it make sense now? Okay, it's making sense, but I want to duplicate this link to be multiple, like to be like maybe 5 of it. Uh, how do I do that? That's the problem. While figuring that out, let me figure out that um, I know, right? Like the initial setup is the hard. Once I figure out the process of adding this component, I think it's going to be a breeze going forward for me. I want to figure out this 404, and I don't know. I don't know why am I getting a 404. I think it's something that I missed in the first setup. I don't see anything here about that. Um, do you know if ChatGPT can get um like if I give it an image, will it know what I'm saying? Can I upload an image there? Because I would like to. Page not found for this story and story block page. That's the error I'm getting. Page not found. And then when I go back home, it works. I think it's because it prefixes this URL by default. And takes me back to this URL problem. So when you refresh the page, reload the page, and it always goes to that URL. So I need to find why it's going. It should not go there. Like if I come here and I say gear, oh sorry, let me save this first. And I say gear, it will go to one URL that I don't know. This URL, gear, then story block, whatever, whatever, whatever. That's what's giving the error. So the moment I remove that, it still doesn't work. Interesting. The moment I say go back home, okay, that's because I've not created gear. I just need to figure out why that is by default the URL. So we'll go to settings again, visual editor, and let's remove this backslash because it's giving me vibe that it's not supposed to be there. then content, home. Then if I try to go here again, that's the problem. I fixed it. So I'm not supposed to put a backslash in the visual editor thing here, right? Because I think that is what was causing the fall for, I guess. I guess. But it feels like I fixed it. So we'll see if it's not fixed, I'll check it again. But I think I fixed it. Nice. Yeah. Now back to this LinkedIn because at this point I'm not understanding what the problem is. This I'll go to the docs. The docs will help me. I want to create a there are different types of field for your content that you want editors to be able to store. You can choose for many different types. So I'm thinking if I create a block of a field to allow nesting of blocks. So if I create a block and create a link instead of a group, let me try that. So I'll delete everything. Delete everything. How do I delete it? Interesting. Delete this one. There should be a place to delete fields now. I want to delete this one. I want to delete. Okay, I'll remove the link first. And then delete the nav items. And instead create the nav items as a block. Nav underscore items and create it as a block type. So what does this mean? Block field options. You know what? Let's just create the block first and save it and see what happens. Now that we have that block, that means I have to create a block of links. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. Because now if I put the nav in this thing and I save it, oh, it's going to put like inside the block, it's going to put the nav, but I want to put a link. But this is what I want. So I'm thinking I should maybe make a link component on its own. That's what I should do. Maybe that would help. Saving field. Please check if the field are correct. Yeah, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. I want to put link on its own, but I figured it out. I figured it out. So let's go back and I'll delete everything and start all over. Delete this and delete this, then save. Okay. Then delete this and delete this, then save. So everything looks good, right? And what I want to do now is I want to create a link, if that makes any sense, a link component so that it lives on its own. Is that what these people did? Okay, this is a text. Actually, I can just see what this grid is using. This is feature, feature, feature. Why am I killing myself? Eh? This is what I want. So imagine just recreating this 1, 2, 3 as columns, and I put that gift. So this is a grid component. Yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. Okay. So I will try to recreate this grid inside the nav so that it be like a grid of 6 items inside. So I can see here they are using something called they call it as columns and it's blocks. And then the blocks is what is it using? The grid is using column blocks. Okay. Then what's the block type? The block type is a text. Interesting. No, I'll just copy this whole thing here and put it in my app nav here. Sorry. Um, I'll comment this out for now, right? Remove all the classes because I don't want it. And essentially try to replicate their own columns that they did here and instead put it there. So if I go back here, I think the first thing to do is to, in the nav, I would create a new block called, what did I call it here? Columns, right? Or just call it nav items still. Naming is hard. When you're naming stuff, then I'll call it blocks and say items, item, nav item. Yeah, I don't know. I just leave it like this for now, right? Save this. So here I want to add, this is where it's confusing. So here I want to add a link, but in their case, they just went ahead to add a feature. Okay, makes sense. So feature is what? Feature is just a test, which is this one. It's just a block name. So I'll create a new file called app link dot view, and just copy copy all of this. I don't know if the structure is correct, but for now we'll use what we have, and then because I'm trying to replicate what this is in my own case, so in any case I can come back and edit it. So here in this nav I can now add this block. Okay, I've not added it, so sorry. I'm going to add the block first. So save this, back, and in the block library I need to add a new block called app link, and it's a nestable block, so let's add that in. And the name is app, how did I name it before? App link. No, sorry. Link. I don't even know what I'm doing now, but it will make sense, don't worry. It will all make sense soon. Then I save this. Then if I come back here to the content in the home, you see the 404 thing, we fixed it. And then in the nav, in the item, I say app link, and then it makes sense. And then I add my link. So about, for example, open a new window, save. Of course, nothing is going to show yet, but I just want to make sure that it's working as expected. So every time I add a new link, it should show the name there. So now I can go back and rename everything to be the proper name. This is not supposed to be app link, it's supposed to be nav item, app nav item. So I'll rename that here. App nav item, and then also rename it in the. Is what I'm doing making sense for people that are still watching? There are 5 people here. Wow. What's the time? 5 o'clock. What the? Okay, we should end this thing at 3 hours and we are done. That's what I keep saying. Because I have other stuff to do today. Just rename this to app nav item. Then item or link. Should I name this? I think I should name it item. item. I just want to see something and know what it is. I don't have to think too much that, oh, what is this thing and what is it doing, right? That's why I'm renaming everything. So now if I say nav, and in the nav I have item, app nav item. I'll go back and rename it again. Sorry, actually I can just make this a new tab so that I don't have to be going back every time. So if I go here and go to block library and change the name of this app nav item to nav item, like that, right? So the item inside should be, the stuff inside should be link. Let me see if that makes more sense now. If I refresh. Okay, we have the nav, we have nav item, which is a link. Perfect. Okay, that works. One more thing, one last thing, just because I'm petty. I want to change this to caps lock and also change it to nav item. But what is it? Nav items. Also, if you have a better name for these things, please let me know, because as it is, I'm just naming it as it's coming to me. So now we have what I wanted before, right? Now I can add 5 items. So I can add this to be about, open a new link, this to be sorry, is it confusing me? This would be about, this would be, or I name both of them about. So this would be the next one, which is digital garden. And then this would be, I can copy and paste it, right? Copy, paste. Doesn't work like that. Okay, this would be speaking, open a new tab. This would be, I can paste. This is so sweet and sleek. This would be speaking, and then I think it's complete. So there's one more. I think I already added speaking. So this would be resources, and this would be gear, right? So now we have all the pages that we want. I just need to make sure that they show up in the page. So I'll save this and check the JSON for what I'm getting back. So I'm getting back a list of links. Okay. I was wondering why it was empty before. So this is the component app nav, and inside there is nav items. So I need to nav items. So I need to loop the nav items here. V4 loop. I think, is it here or here? Oh my god, I'm so confused. App nav, should it be here or in the app nav item? I think it should be here. So if it's here, I just need to recopy this thing that I did here. I just need to undo this thing here, which is what I did before, and remove this one. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that changes anything. Okay, it doesn't. And I think I'm missing something. If this for loop should be in this, or it should be in this app nav item. You know what? I'll just make, just to be sure what component this is. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, but we'll see. This is nav items and I'm looping it. So yeah, it makes sense. I will do this item here, and we don't still get anything. That's weird. So where is this thing? If it's not here, my God, app nav. It's actually not there. It's empty. Yeah. So this is up now, and then we have image, but we don't have any other thing inside. That's the problem. And okay, let's use this block div story block before block in. Okay, block in what? Draft JSON block in nav items. Okay, that's the problem. I know what the problem is. Nav dot items, right? And that's an array that has the things that I need to loop over. So in fact, if I just, for the sake of being brief and not complicating everything again, delete this. I don't need it. Then I keep what I have before. The only thing I changed was the nav items where we're looping the items from. So I think that should work. Please work. It's not working. And then I'll refresh here and just make sure that at least in my view component, I'm getting something back. And we check here. I don't see anything. I don't even have a view Chrome extension, a view DevTools. Let me install it so that I can know which components are there and not there. Is this it? Oh, I have it, but maybe it's disabled. Okay, it's disabled. Okay. Oh, me too. I'm getting fed up. Oh, like, why is it not showing? That's the last thing I want to do before I end this stream. So now if I try to, why is the VT not showing again? Okay, so view DevTools. Yeah, it's there. So if I inspect, I should see it. Okay, it's now here. Okay. It's even not naming the components correctly. Okay, maybe it will. I just need to go to the page. Or is there a way to inspect it? No. More. Gifts, what is happening? I'm looking for the index story block. No. The wrapping in this component is crazy. It's actually not naming it what I was expecting it to name it by the names. So at least it's there, right? This is what I'm looking for, right? So why is it not showing? It's there. Okay. App nav, but the app nav is there. So inside the app nav, I have the logo, and then I have these nav items, which is what I'm trying to show. So nav items, I'll just show it here as like a paragraph. So block dot nav items and see. It's there, right? This is it. Still now wants me to be thinking that. So I think the for loop I wrote is wrong. So I'll just review it. I'll review the for loop and see. Okay. So now I'm getting what I want in it. Great. So now what we'll do with these items is just take only what we need because this is too much for me. So I'll say this is the ID is correct. So I'll say this should be link of type and then bind this to group to item dot. I think it's gone. Item dot URL. Let's just say that's it. And then if I inspect again, wow, you think that 2 hours you do the homepage finish with live streaming or live coding, but that's impossible because you always have to go through a lot of blockers. So what I'm trying to get here is the link components. So the link dot cache URL and dot link dot cached URL. Nice. Okay, we have something showing, and then the URL is empty. Maybe it's because I selected it to be internal link, but at least I have that. But why is it just showing one? It should loop like it should show 5 of them or 6 of them, right? Um, I swear, me, I'm getting hungry too. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out before I go. Like I have what I want, right? Which is nav items is an array. In the array, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I loop over these 5 stuff, it should show me at least the names, right? It should show me the link dot cached URL. That's what I want now. That's what I want. That's what I want. So if I do this, for example, lock dot nav items. Oh, P. Our app has broken. I'll restart it because maybe I don't have time to be waiting for it to come back. Okay, and now I refresh this. Okay, this one is broken. So yeah, okay, it's working now. So why did it not work before? Like this thing is silly. Oh. Ah, this code will make you think that you don't know what you are doing. Okay, this is what I was trying to get to work. Now I have this. I'll just write CSS to properly make it look like this, right? And so we can call it a day. And for that, I would use Tailwind. Should I use Tailwind? I think I should. Class flex. What does that do? Okay. So if I do flex, and then this one is also a class of flex as well. And let me open Tailwind documentation, please, because that way is easier for me. Flex, flexbox, flexbox, alignment, flexbox. And Tailwind has added a lot of, I think this Tailwind 3. Okay, that's why. I'm looking for flex. Okay, this is it. Well, I can actually use grid because what I want to do is just make a grid of 2. So one is here and the other is here. Let me just use what I'm familiar with, which is flex. So I make flex, and then this is what I want, flex, and then in the item, class, flex, auto. So the thing with me and Tailwind is I just type different classes until I get something closer to what I'm looking for. And yeah, there you have it. But this is not what I'm looking for. Like, this is what we have now. Obviously, this is not what I'm looking for. This is too much for me. So I will first of all write the base classes. So let's start from there. So in the index.view, I'm going to put a style CSS thing here and call this maybe HTML, and give it a margin of 0.40 pixels, maybe. And maybe this is too small because I want mine to be a bit like, from the design, you can see let me see the difference in the pixel. Does it work like that? I don't think so. Like from Figma, you cannot get the exact dimension from here to here in pixels. I don't think so. Oh, you can. What? What? I can actually get the CSS to use. Okay, let me see if I can get the CSS of this page. Wow. But this is not what I want to. This is a width of this and a height of that, but I want to know the margin between these parts. Okay, it's 117. But what is that? 117 pixels. That's a lot. You know what? I'll use my better judgment and I'll use rem and say 20 rem. I don't know. That's too much. 10, 8. I think this is better. So let's use this as my starting point. I'll come back and add like the font and the default font for my app. I'll add everything here. And now if I go back to the story block app nav, so now that we have this, I just want to make sure that the CSS. Okay, I sorry, I just saw your message now from we are exactly in 3 hours. Okay. Let me fix I think this is looking good. I want to fix the display of the nav items. And by the way, I should also add a margin top as well, maybe 10 pixels. 10 pixels is small, maybe to remember. 3, 2.5. So okay, I like this better, and then I'll fix the the nav items now. So this is saying flex auto. Should that be flex auto? Flex one. The justify center. Is that how it works? Align center. Nah. Okay, I'm adding it to the wrong thing. Can you imagine? It should be here. Justify center. Justify center align. I want the thing to be aligned like to the center of the. It doesn't look like it's in the center, and this padding between each of them is too much. Like looking at the design again, is a bit too much. About digital garden speaking, resources, gear. Let me just go through their docs for Flex. So justify start, justify center, justify end. Okay, justify end. Okay, then for the items, I think I will do justify items, start, justify items, and justify items center. This is for grid. Align items is what I want. Okay. Is that it? Okay, item starts or items end. Wow. This is not working. I'll just do my hack, which is I also need to make this thing responsive. What the? Okay, I've forgotten that part. So we have this here, but at least I'm glad that I figured out the setup for the story block. So now what I need to do is just make sure that there's a problem. Each of the items is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So where's the parent of it? You know what? My CSS game is not strong again. I used to be there, but today is not that day for me. Um, so I want it to be in its own div, right? So div class. What if I add everything here? I don't know what it will do differently. Okay. Then the items, let me see if it's doing what I want it to do. This flex, then inside there's one div and then there's one div and there's another. Nah, this is not what I want. Because it's going to add all the classes to individual items. So I want this whole thing to have a parent. Like, so I'll just add like a parent div. That's the problem with using this kind of div CSS. Um I also want to be trying to write semantic HTML and not just be doing div up and down, you know. So in my brain, what makes it make sense is if I section each like this is one section. I'll change this to section. And then this is another section. And then inside the section we have the nav items. So let me see if now this makes no sense. Now, if I add a class here and say flex and then justify end and then remove all these things that I added here. Okay, and then align center, item center. Yes. Okay, we are getting there. But now I want to space the individual items out. So in that case, I would, for this class, now do flex. There's a thing for spacing. What's that? Gap. Does flex have gap? Gap, gap, column gap. This is what I want to use. Oh, but it's for grid. See, I should not kukuma use grid like this because this flexbox is giving me. I can add gap for grid, Abby, for flexbox. Let me try. So if I say here gap 6, no, it doesn't work. It needs to be a grid. So the problem is I have to rethink it in grid. So if I'm doing grid, I have to rethink everything in columns. So let me see. Since I'm already halfway through, I'll just use Flexbox for that. But I need to see how to add spacing between Flexbox. I think it is Flex Gap X. Okay, let me try Gap X. What does that do? Gap X and the number, right? No? Or just Gap X? No? That's not it. So it says I can use Gap for Flexbox items now. Okay. So if I say Gap X and the size of the gap, okay. Gap X2. Maybe I'm even adding it to the wrong thing. I'm adding it to the wrong thing. It should be here. It should be in the thing that I'm gapping, right? English. I need to make the wrapper a Flexbox as well. Okay, this one. Like that? No. Wait, let me even rethink what I'm doing. Now that I have this, I just need to put spacing between them. It looks like there's spacing, right? I'll inspect it and see. Yeah. So this is what I have now. I just need to put, yeah, gap X. But where am I adding it to? That's the thing. I'm adding it to this section. Interesting. Okay. I'm adding it here, not to the individual item. Does that make sense? I don't know, but it works. Okay, thank you. It should be the wrapper, right? Yeah, that was what I was doing wrong. Yeah, that was what I was doing wrong. Thank you. So now this is looking closely to what I want to use. But yeah, I need to make it instead of to the end, like what I have here, center. Let me see what that looks like. There's no difference. Items end. Okay, no. This is center. This is start. Actually, it doesn't make any difference. It goes to the end of the page, right? So what if I take this out? It doesn't actually do anything. Okay, this is okay. I think I'll leave it here for now. And since I don't need this class, I'll take it out. Okay. Going back here, I'm not confused. What do I want to do? I want to make it look like what I have in my design, so I can go to the resources here in Figma and check what font and what font am I using. I'm using the font called Open Sans. Open Sans. So I can add that to my font family. And another interesting thing is because I'm using two different, I don't know what is people's thoughts on this. So using two different fonts in your application, one is like a primary font, one is like a secondary font. So I have Open Sans and then I have this one. But the one I want to define as the font family should be one of it. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me just try and do what I'm thinking of in my head. So if I say here font family, um, I think I need to copy this from Google Fonts, what the font family is. Font family Open Sans. Where do I copy that thing from? I think it's here, right? This Google Fonts page I've changed. So if I say download family, no, this is not what I want. There used to be a way to select the one you want, like this one. Okay, yes, this is what I'm looking for. And then just copy the font family, which is this here. So if I'm using Open Sans as the entire font for the site, which is currently what is being used now, right? And I say, okay, this text, I want to change it to like a different font. It will now make sense to add the font in wherever I'm using. So I can't define two fonts. I'm confusing myself. I can't define two fonts, so I'll just leave it like this as Open Sans will be the default. And then when I need to add another font, I'll just add it in the style where I'm using it. Yeah. So in that case, this is what it looks like. And then back in Storyblock, I'll go ahead and rename everything to be the in caps because I don't like that they're all in small. I want to rename all of this to. I can't even edit it, can I? Okay. I want to rename all this about to use. I don't need to rename it. I just need to check the JSON and see which one has caps and use that in my display. So let me see. Everything has small letter. So I think there's a URL missing here. I don't know if I'm defining it or not. But it seems to me like I have to go back here where I have the block library. No, where I have the here. So all this should be caps. Can I edit it? Can I edit it? Yeah. No, it's not working. I want to use the name. I don't want to use the slug. And it seems that it's the slug that I'm using. Don't know if that makes any sense because either ways, I can also do it in the code to make everything be center case, right? How do you do that? I just close all these things because it's confusing me now. I have too many tabs open. It confuses me. Close this, close this. Actually, leave this one open. So I'm using the cached URL. Is that what I'm using? Yeah, that's what I'm using. I don't want to use the cache URL because otherwise it's going to have digital garden like a column. I want to use the title of the link. So let me look for how to change that in the dashboard, in the content type. Sorry. So nav item about like I want to use this thing instead. This the thing on top, not the thing under, like the title. So I'll check the settings of this link and I don't see an option for it here. Show description, enable, save. Define the anchor ID of your link. I don't know what that is. And this is interesting. How do I change it? How do I change it? The thing is even not a link. That's the weird part. Like it's just a text. So, okay. I think this HF thing is not working. So let me go back because it's empty. The URL is empty. My gut is telling me I should, instead of using internal link, I should just use URL and put slash something. Like I don't have the energy right now. So I'll come back here and change the content type for this link to be, so I remove this, enable anchor field on, I don't know what that means. Save, link, save. So what I meant to do is change this to a URL and just put slash about, I think. No, that's not going to that's not going to work because it's going to literally put the slash about. Well. I think we've tried for today and it feels like I've hit like a roadblock here with this thing. So I need to figure out first why the URL is empty in the JSON response. I feel like I'm missing something here in the configuration that I did, right? Because I don't know what it is that I'm missing. But yeah, what I want is that I'll just show you quickly. What I want is that the JSON that I'm getting back as a link should have the URL, but that's missing because it's with the URL I can link to whatever page. And then secondly, it should also have a title, right? Because I'm using this cached URL, but that's not what I want to use. I want to use like something that starts with caps, for example. So yeah, I'll figure that one out and fix it and then finish like the at least the home page. I guess I'll do that later today, but I won't stream it. But I'm so glad that you all stuck with me. Like that English is, if it's even correct, throughout the period of this stream, and I was able to set up the project and get things running. So I think that going forward it would be a bit less complicated because if I'm doing it by myself, I can always go back to the docs. But as I'm streaming, I'm talking, is is a bit too much context switching for my brain. It's too much multitasking for my brain. So essentially what I'm saying is that I will finish this but not on the stream. So thank you so much for sticking around with me. And maybe the next time I do this stream is when I'm finishing up the project and seeing that doing this thing live takes a longer time. It will be best if when I'm finishing it, I can show you what I've done so far and also just the final touches of the project. But yeah, thank you again for sticking around. For the remaining people here, really appreciate your help in chat as well. Thank you. And yeah, it was fun, but it took my entire afternoon, and I didn't expect it to take my entire afternoon. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm on leave. I'm on vacation right now, so I can as well spend my time. The goal is to finish this thing this week, so let's see if we can do it. And yeah, I will see you all in my either next video because I'm also supposed to shoot a video today, but this took my time, so I can't do that anymore. I'll see you in my next video, in my next stream. Have a wonderful holiday, everybody. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you, Shemilori. Thank you. Thank you, Benjamin, and every other person still on. Bye. See you later.